Can someone out there please help me? I need someone to do a deep Google search on a very, very odd question. You'll need some special research skills because this isn't going to be an easy answer to find. At least, I don't think it will be, and I know it wouldn't be for me. And even though some of our viewers may not be sports fans, bear with me as I ponder on something that has just been a terrible struggle for me, and then give you something to think about. Like all of my years with Athletes in Action, I learned when the great Canadian sports inventor James Naismith invented basketball in 1891. He had the janitor mount peach baskets at either end of the gym, and the players would throw the ball into the baskets. And the original baskets had bottoms in them. It got really tiring having someone pick the ball out of the basket every time someone scored. So it was suggested that they knock out the basket bottoms, the ball would go straight through, and the game would continue at a much faster pace. And so basketball, in most of the ways that we know it today, was invented. So here's the question that's been going through my mind now for several weeks. How did the inventors of baseball come up with the idea of 3 strikes and you're out? Why not 4 strikes? Why not 2 strikes? At least just 2 strikes, the game would just move along a whole lot faster and every swing would need to be far more intentional. But why 3? I'm sure that many of you have had sleepless nights pondering this critical part of sports history. It may have even tormented you for decades. And that's why I've asked for help, or at least the help of someone, just the right person, that can search out the answers to this dilemma and put an end to our suffering and confusion. And I promise you that once that special someone has found the definitive answer, I will be sure to let all of our viewers know. On the night that Jesus was arrested, we know of a different 3. It was the 3 times that Peter denied his Lord. The first was to a servant girl in the high priest's courtyard. In that same courtyard, gathered around a fire to keep warm, were other servants and officials who accused Peter of being one of Jesus' disciples. And Peter denied it. Then for the third denial, it was to the high priest's servant who was a relative of the one who had his ear cut off by Peter earlier that night. A different 3, but the same results. 3 denials, and you're done. Peter realized that what Jesus had said about him was true. He did deny Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed. And you can read all about this in John chapter 18, verses 15 to 27. That night was not a good night for Jesus. But then so much happened in just 3 days and for several weeks, with various sightings and conversations and visitations by Jesus with different people and individuals and groups and in very different locations. The Gospel of John in chapter 21, we find Jesus with his disciples up in Galilee. They'd gone there fishing. And after Jesus meets with them and they fish and they finish eating breakfast, another 3 get introduced. These are the 3 asks of Peter by Jesus. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? After each one, there is a commissioning and a responsibility that is entrusted to Peter. It's as if Jesus is giving Peter the chance to discover forgiveness, hope, and purpose. That morning was a good morning for Peter. Just like for us, we've had seasons of denial maybe where we strike out, so to speak. But Jesus gives us the chance to come back into the game and try again. How often have you struck out? Have you realized that Jesus was always fixing people's messes and that he is willing to fix yours by changing you and transforming you into the image and his calling and his destiny for you? And just like Peter, we need to come to the conviction that he's alive. Jesus is alive. You see, it doesn't matter what happened that night with the denials because of what happened Easter morning. God bless you.